The nostalgia just hit me when I saw that Motorola Razr. I love the Motorola Razr flip phone.
I had a pink one. T9. Bring back T9, John.
Yes.
If you know, you know. If you don't, sorry, kids.
Yeah, I mean, it would help. It would help the distractions, right? I do miss the days where you would just talk at dinner. And if you were on your phone, you would do like one text because it cost money, each text. It limited you. It was good. 51 to 31. Well, it'll be 51. 31 degrees right now, very warm. We're dealing with clear, or at least mainly clear conditions. You got to get up to Thief River Falls to deal with some of that fog up towards Baudette. But for the most part, we're not dealing with a whole lot of fog. Temperature-wise, we're close enough or warmer than freezing. Look at Marshall, 38 this morning. We're at 31 here in the cities. There's probably some ice on your car. There's at least a little ice on mine. It's kind of been the same deal every day. But afternoon, 51, there it is. I think middle 50s, not out of the question if we can get enough sunshine. Look at the south winds here, 10 miles per hour. That's different than yesterday. That should get us a climb into the 50s. So shed the layers on this February day.
Will do, John. Thank you. 6:02 as you're gearing up to head out. No crashes, and as you see, the map is all green. A reminder, though, we have been dealing with a nightly road closure. 694 southbound lanes only, closing between 36 and 94. That starts tonight at 10 p.m. It will wrap up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., and that's going to last every single night through February 10th.
If you're just joining us here at 6:02, we're continuing to follow breaking news in the world of country music.
Just about 3 hours ago, we learned country star Toby Keith has died. This is the announcement posted to his social media pages just a few hours ago. It says he passed peacefully last night surrounded by his family, and he fought his fight with grace and courage. The Red Solo Cup singer had been battling stomach cancer since 2021. Toby Keith was 62 years old.
Red Solo Cup, I fill you up, let's have a party.
The country star was performing sold-out shows in Las Vegas just 2 months ago. During his career, Keith had 20 #1 singles that earned him a long list of awards.
And of course, Keith was no stranger to the Twin Cities. He played the State Fair as recently as 2017. And at one point, he owned a bar and grill in St. Louis Park named after his hit song, I Love This Bar. It closed back in 2015 after the state took away its liquor license because of unpaid liquor taxes. Now, our own Julie Nelson sat down with Keith when he came to visit his bar in 2010. He said he was excited for his new venture here in Minnesota.
We stress it as a bar that serves good food as opposed to a restaurant that serves liquor.
Reaction is starting to come into the newsroom from the country music community. About an hour ago, singer Zach Bryan posted, "Too many rides in my old man's car listening to Toby Keith. Really hard thing to hear."
Let's turn now to a big developing story out of St. Paul.
As you leave for work today, protesters will be outside of St. Paul City Hall, ultimately urging city leaders there to take a side in the war in Gaza. So let's check in with Cece Gaines, who is live in St. Paul with an update. Good morning, Cece.
Good morning. So right here, St. Paul residents and Palestine activists, they're going to be holding this rally. It kicks off at 4 this afternoon here at City Hall. Now, a group called Women Against Military Madness organized this. And on their X account, they say they're calling on St. Paul City Council women to quickly pass a resolution for an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza and an end to U.S. military aid to Israel. And they want St. Paul to join cities across the country that are doing this or thinking about doing this. Now, this all comes just about a week after people packed a Minneapolis City Council meeting. City leaders recently voted to adopt a Gaza ceasefire resolution, but Mayor Jacob Frey vetoed it. He called the resolution one-sided because it uplifted the history of Palestinians but erased that of Israeli Jews. He urged the council to work with him, though, on a different ceasefire resolution that's more balanced. Again, the rally is going to start at 4 this afternoon here. It's going to wrap up sometime around 5. And this rally does come just a day before the St. Paul City Council meets, and they're meeting tomorrow afternoon. Guys.
Cece, thank you very much. Let's turn now to some breaking news out of Minneapolis, where police are investigating a possible shooting. This happened just after midnight behind the Handy Stop and Marathon gas station on West Broadway. Our photojournalist reported seeing several bullet casings on the ground there. We're going to update this story on air and online as we learn more.
In the last 24 hours, Golden Valley's former interim police chief settled a lawsuit with the city. He claims the city passed him over for the permanent police chief job because he was white. The city didn't admit wrongdoing in the settlement, but a city attorney told us It's paying about $162,000 to Scott Nadeau and his lawyer. The Star Tribune says Nadeau was named a finalist for the job in 2022, but resigned when the mayor at the time called for an investigation into racism within the department's ranks. New video this morning shows an SUV that went through the front of a KFC in Lakeville. This incident happened yesterday. Police tell us it was likely driver error and that the 85-year-old driver and passenger were not injured. The restaurant's employees say no one was hurt inside either.
Well, happening right now, a historic and now deadly storm is slamming Southern California. We're learning this morning at least 3 people are dead. By the end of the day, parts of Los Angeles could get 6 months worth of rain. That storm is expected to last through tomorrow. It's already causing dangerous flooding and mudslides out there. Right now, more than 250,000 people are without power. Now, this storm is happening because of a weather phenomenon called an atmospheric river. You're going to hear that term a lot over the next few days. So let's bring in John now to explain exactly what that is.
Well, if you don't know, there's a ton of moisture in the ocean, right? Now, there's movements in the ocean, oscillations in the ocean, and that moisture likes to stay with those oscillations. Now, you can see in the water vapor loop all the rain. It's focused right on there. When this counters up, it really matches up perpendicular with California. They can get 30 to 50% of their year rainfall total from these type of events. So this is common for the half of the year's rainfall in California. How much rain has fallen? This is from the 3rd to the 5th already from the atmospheric river. Los Angeles already over 4 inches. They're honestly on their way to 6 or 7 inches, over half a foot. San Diego just about to get into the mix. And I think the southern part of California here, when you go from LA down to San Diego and then over to Las Vegas, that's where this is starting to pivot. And then it will start to move up into our neck of the woods, which is what I'll be talking about next.
All right, John, that's a lot of rain. Thanks for that breakdown. Well, the historic building in St. Paul is no longer standing this morning after an emotional demolition, especially for those who hope to preserve it.
I'm Jennifer Hoff. Crews demolished the iconic Ford Motor Company building in St. Paul yesterday. For more than 100 years, it sat kitty corner to the Capitol at University and Rice, housing a Model T assembly plant and even a dealership. The state owned that building recently, but it did sit empty for 2 decades. Local historians tried to get it on the National Register of Historic Places, blaming bureaucracy for a process that kept the building in limbo. Instead, the area will be turned into a green space, but some of that rubble will be salvaged.
Time now 6:08, and a big get for the Twin Cities. In the last 24 hours, we've learned Minneapolis will play host to Rotary International's annual convention in 2029. The event, aimed at sharing ideas to bring positive and lasting change to communities all over, is expected to bring in 15,000 people from all around the world. The 2029 convention will be the 120th for the group. Rotary International was formed in Chicago back in 1905, so professionals with all different backgrounds can exchange ideas and work together towards humanitarian efforts.
Well, maybe only February, but the Twin Cities Metro is already seeing its first deer tick of the season. You see it there, that gross little bugger there. The Metropolitan Mosquito Control says someone found it in Rosemount. They're saying if you're out enjoying warmer temperatures, the ticks, of course, are as well. So you should always check yourself, your kiddos, and your pets, because it's tick season, John.